Okay. What the hell? Glass wall. Okay, so what have we got here? Computer, terminals. Opens. Okay, so it'll be. Okay, so let's read these PDAs.
Don't go any
Further. I'm warning you now.
I'm warning you now.
Mate, warn me all you want.
How
I
could
don't
you
care.
do this?
I do with my children as I see.
I do with my children as I see fit.
Barbaric.
Yeah.
Spare me the pity of the righteous. Your daughter owes her life to me.
What do you know about Rebecca?
ARG was good on this ship, Mr. Marichek. Cancer, HIV, Ebola. I eliminated
Damn.
them all.
Alright, smart ass.
Is mine to do it as I choose. Oh yes, I know about everything, Johnny boy. I know about your daughter and all about your wife. You are accountable.
Jan his signal, John. You need to hurry. We're close.
Alright, okay. There's 2 PDAs in this room, so it may be like another hour before we actually get. Nah, I'm kidding. Oh my god. Malan's actual thing? Okay. Ania begins, the wheel turns, and the Groomlake continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery for all of humankind. Yet I feel dissatisfied. Even as the peons who work under me celebrate the new year, I wonder why. Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Georgian calendar on a ship that's currently swimming through the depths of space? The reason is clear. Comfort. They fear the unknown, the alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is the humans doing it. Constrained as they are by conscience, remorse, and sometimes even fear, we try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill-fits its cosmic splendor. This is my 10th year as Social Projects Director for Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and quests for knowledge, I am held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and that group of degenerate toadies that I sit on the board with. If I were rid of them, then my world would be God, my word. Not the word of a corporation. Still, they have their uses. The research is funded by Kane, and the Groomlake is kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this changes, you mark my words. I'm inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is sometimes more tedious than it's actually worth. Worst of all was Dr. Way. And that technician, Miss Callister, is it? I'd normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worthwhile. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims, and somebody will always take up the fallen Crusader's torch. Dr. Bachman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I'm well aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet manages to go about his work with a sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He's requested more bodies for seeds, specifically more women who were recently pregnant. That is problematic, as we have very few such women on board, and imports are not easy to come by. We may have to play this one under the radar. That fool Dr. Gray complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks as far as I'm concerned. The importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project work by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. I win every time. A little fact is unlikely to tell anyone, although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested with him, with the opinion that he'd be the next best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you could not handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, then you are as great a fool as I imagine you to be. When the day that I foresee comes, your rotting corpse will be under my feet, and I will laugh. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion that I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research, but this is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid. How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then it'll burn with the rest of the rejects. The woman is obsessed, and I know that DeSantos is playing no small part in feeding her delusions. I know her secret research won't cause me any problems, or I would never have allowed her on Project Seed. So it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overspill is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growths, or so my various drones tell me. The fungus is a riveting proposition though. While I'm angry at Dr. Bachman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessary, these unintended side effects are fascinating. I intimated as much to Dr. Gray, and of course stroked his ego with hints of promotion and glory. He'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want it destroyed, but I'm sure we can delay that. This experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play the violin. We're more than secure here anyway, and this has a certain inevitability about it. I must record the daily developments as the experiment grows. It is as I foresaw, panic, destruction and mayhem, and yet Seed continues a pass? Don't know what that means. Once the fervor and the flame dies down, we'll sweep the decks of the detritus and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friends. I am God. My beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once, many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity, afraid of its natural successors. This systematic extermination was given a name, the Eugenics Wars. The public knew it as corporate warfare. In truth, it was coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for Professor Guerin's astounding discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course. That's where I came in. I spent most of my life as part of Kane trying to access Professor Guerin's original work. Old man Kane pushed me to the top because we shared an ideal, the utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Where we differed were the methods by which this was to be achieved. Note that he had much more to say after I held that pillow to his face as he lay in the hospital bed, all for a higher purpose. The creation of our species from more subjects will become impossible now that the crew are dead, dying, or unclean, but that's hardly an issue. Any subjects who were flawed or imperfect have been turned into fertilizer that will nurture the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving the Grimleg out of range of any other ships. No one can be allowed to escape this ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I am their creator. I control. I transcend. DeSantos, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal? I thought we were of one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children. But for now, I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from me, Marvin, you drug-peddling little fuck. That is awesome. There's another one. I don't know what this one's going to be about. Oh, it's small, and potentially the last one, so you know, we've got to do this. Robert Lincoln. I've been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists in the employ of Dr. Malan. A strange matter to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I can't say that I'm too impressed. Does anybody around here record their comings or goings, or make any notes? There is no traditional organisation in this department whatsoever. Project Seed answers to nobody, this I know, but I thought these scientific types always made notes. Not that I care about admin, but I very much care about finding out who's selling weapons-grade secrets. Industrial secrets are a matter of life and death, especially death in this case. My investigation will be thorough, and no stone will be left unturned. The staff here is strange, and in fact I'd say lots of them are even crazy, but I couldn't care less about that. I just want names and answers. I got this job because I get things done, not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment, people are taking umbrage to my investigation, but security is a constant and essential part of shipboard life, especially when we're talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems based on the modified records I found that they were killed and ejected into space. Any other man would assume that these 2 were criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I've ruled out Charlotte Williams and Marvin DeSantos. Charlotte because she doesn't know where she is half the time, and DeSantos because she's just a smoking shit for brains. I'm confident that he's involved in drug dealing, but I will give him this. He is cautious, and acts like he's a real ladies' man. But I know the truth. I've seen him projected repeatedly at the bar. Since July I've had to operate under the pretense that I'm an assistant. It's lucky that in my career I've had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Malan. He's been encouraging. He constantly supplies me with information that I require for my investigation, and at times is even a little over helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Malan is. I've seen his experiments with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when the bodies are disposed of in the burning fires of the furnaces. But he does what's required to justify the means. There are few men in this world who would do what has to be done. For that I admire him. He told me to watch over Dr. Williams' experiments. It seems they are unofficial, and although I'm prepared to report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Malan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Bachman, of all people, was sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Malan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. This I did. A shame I had to break the old guy's kneecaps. Honestly, I was hoping to slit his throat, but Dr. Malan insisted that he remain alive. Alive and in pain, but unable to move. I'm revising my earlier opinion of that DeSantos character. I still think he's a pathetic little shit, but I now believe he is partly responsible for some of the stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put up to this by an outside agent. I'll deal with DeSantos soon, but first I've got to monitor his movements. Make one move, pal, and I'll have you. Dr. Malan has earmarked me for one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane Corp, I discovered that my access was restricted and blocked. I came back to my quarters and found Malan waiting there. He was waiting with two of those hellish creatures that he's created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. I'm currently awaiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life, and I'll never say that I feel remorse for it. And I don't give Dr. Malan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last notes on this affair are that Dr. Malan himself is at the heart of the events on board the ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe that he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists liked control, but Malan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. The leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing scientists. I'm beginning to suspect he even knew that DeSantos was actually selling intelligence and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end? I don't know. I suspect it was because DeSantos kept Bachman drugged up to the eyeballs with whatever powerful stimulants he happened to have, so Bachman could continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know that I did my job for Kane Corporation. Right, well let's do this. This is going to be interesting. A surgical laser. Ah, fuck. Well, what did I expect was going to happen? Oh, so I just keep using it and it keeps trashing the room. Good to know. Let's get out of here. This has got to be near the end. We can't have much more to go. There's nothing better happened to her. Oh wait.
Rebecca, no! Rebecca, run! Kill me!
Oh, come on, man.